back to IFAT India 2025 podcast series. We have with us Mr. Rajneesh Trivedi, Director, Sales and Business Development, Hindustan Waste Treatment Pvt. Limited. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
What are the biggest challenges and opportunities in India's municipal solid waste management today?
Look, today the biggest problem and a challenge, apart from anything else, is the mindset. Today, the problem in India is in the municipal solid waste business is not about that we lack technology, we lack processes, or we do not have the right commercial framework for setting up these projects. The biggest problem is the mindset. And the mindset is, at the end of the day, what are we treating? What are we dealing with? We are dealing with waste. And the mindset is, waste hi to hai. The problem is basically that waste hi to hai has been the phenomena in the industry for a long period of time. The government has now taken initiative to convert this mindset from waste hi to hai is from waste to wealth. And when this consensus is reached in the industry amongst all of us, including all of us who are sitting here, then only the waste can really be treated and scientifically processed in the way it is required to be done. So having said that, there are other challenges. It's not just the mindset. Once the mindset in place, there are other challenges. There are challenges with respect to technology. There are challenges with respect to the process. There are challenges with respect to the kind of waste you get, which is not worthy or ready to be processed. So we have to look at all these challenges. To begin with, in terms of the quality of the waste, the problem here is that if you are really producing and you really want to convert the waste into wealth, you need to get segregated waste. Unfortunately, what happens is that, despite all the government policies and pushes, the problem has been that, the country has not been able to achieve success in segregating waste.
Yes.
Even if the waste gets segregated at the household level, it gets mixed up. And by the time it reaches to the waste management plants or the waste processing plants, we get to a point that we are again dealing with mixed waste. Now, mixed waste cannot be treated for a value-added product. You need to then again segregate the waste. Segregating the waste involves huge technology, and more than technology, it also involves investment, capex. Now, if you see at the end of the day, what are we doing? We are converting a waste into something valuable. The more of capex and the more of investment you do, with the less of output and the less of revenue, there is a mismatch and there is a gap. Now, how do you fulfill that gap? In order to fulfill the gap, you need support from the government. You need support from the policymakers. Even if the support comes from the policymakers, still we are getting mixed waste. You cannot meet up with that. So in order to cope up with the challenges and with the problems, apart from the technology, apart from the support from the government, what we also need to do is we need to look at ourselves. We need to look at the community at large and find solutions sitting together. So I personally feel, coming from a private sector point of view, where we are already, doing mixed waste treatment in Goa. We did this mixed waste treatment for 5 years. Now the point of time has come where the sensitivity in the civic sense and the people have risen to a level, along with obviously the focus from the government, that we've started getting separate streams of waste. We're getting dry waste and we're getting mixed wet waste separate, and we are processing it.
That brings me to my next question, that which innovative recycling technologies or processes do you see driving the next wave of efficiency and sustainability in the sector?
Look, as I mentioned earlier, in order to be competitive, in order to be successful, technology is the key barometer. Until and unless we keep on using manual processes, we'll never be able to progress. So in terms of technology, segregation technology, the pre-treatment technology is very important. Also, we need to look at how we lay out, we design a plant which is basically not only looking good, it is looking nice, but it is also, it harmonizes with the environment where it is being set up. Today, the problem which we are facing here is that even if you try and use good technology, the design and the layout and the process orientation is so poor that even a half decent plant starts looking, poor. In the sense that, the outlook and the outreach and the way how it looks is bad. There is odor around the plant. Nobody wants to put up a plant. I can tell you today, if you decide and say that, look, we want to put up a world-class quality plant in this location, there will be, people who will start coming up and saying, don't do it. The reason is because the perception in mind is that, if a waste management plant comes, it is going to create more problems than solutions. And these solutions can be done.
How would you change that mindset? Are there any solutions to that?
There is solution to that, and this solution, I would invite you, and through your medium, people who are listening to this podcast, to come and visit Goa. The reason here is that you can have a waste plant, look good, you can be there, level and the standard which we want to create, through the waste management plants which we are putting up.
Wow.
And for that, I will again reiterate, please do come and visit Goa, see the 2 plants which we have set up.
Wow. That's
And why
quite interesting, and it's almost urging me to visit Goa and have a walk around the park.
We look forward.
So how is the waste to energy and compressed biogas segment evolving in India, and what role does it play in circular economy?
Look, there has been significant changes, which has been initiated by the central government, by the state governments. State governments, in a sense that they have now come up with, biogas and biofuel policies,
Yes.
which are again supporting this sector and industry. At the central level, the 2 nodal authorities which are involved with CBG, which one is Mahua, which basically under whom all the state and the urban local bodies operate, and Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, which basically ensures that the output which is produced is being consumed through various policy mechanisms which they have initiated. Now, through both of these interventions, there has been a lot of development growth to the sector. We see a lot of new plants coming up. In fact, again, from a private sector point of view, I would also like to add that one initiative which MOPNG, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, has taken is that they've realized that there is a huge potential of converting this MSW into a valuable resource, which is CBG. Now,
Yes.
through that initiative which MOPNG has taken, all the oil marketing companies and the CGDs, they have been entrusted with the task of developing these CBG plants. Under the Govardhan scheme of MOPNG, oil marketing companies together are supposed to be developing around 5,000 plants.
Wow.
Now that's a huge incentive which is there, because when you announce a policy which is forthcoming, which is forward looking, where you have the CBG output which is taken through a policy measure, you have the waste available. I don't think that there is a dearth of project opportunities. And just to add, India today has 62 million tons of municipal solid waste being produced on a daily basis. Only 20% of that is getting processed.
Recycled. So any startups or any entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs are looking for opportunities, this is your area. Yes.
So we are very happy, and again through this podcast, I would like to invite all the young budding entrepreneurs, technologists, who have new ideas to come and connect with us. We would like to help you adapt this technology, develop this technology, and to the extent possible, support through the initiatives by putting demo plants, pilot plants at our facilities to support this into a bigger, massive movement.
Nice. That's again a great opportunity. So, sir, in your view, how can urban areas better integrate recycling, waste treatment, and renewable energy solutions for long-term sustainability?
Look, we have to realize one thing, and as I mentioned earlier as well, in an urban landscape like Mumbai, or maybe in any other place, look at urban landscapes like Bangalore, Delhi, what has been the biggest problem? The biggest problem is not in terms of non-availability of waste. The biggest problem is that the urban population does not want these waste management plants to come up around them. So that is the biggest myth and a mindset which needs to be broken. And that can again be broken only once you see a good plant with good ergonomics, with good looks, and a kind of a neat and clean environment, which can be developed through these plants to be kind of messaged across. That is the only way you will have the ability of these urban landscapes accepting these plants. You look at countries like Singapore. It's a small island, but the integration of urban population with the waste management plants has been quite easy. And again, I'll draw your attention to Goa. If you see a Goa plant, there are actually offices, there are residences which are close by in the vicinity of our plant, which basically means that in an urban landscape, a waste management plant
It's possible.
and habitation is possible. But again, if you put together everything, in a nutshell, it requires a good design, a good engineering plant, a good technology, and all the latest systems, and more importantly, the sensitivity that these plants are not just only for profit making or for earning revenue. Both these goals are oriented along with environmental requirements and a commitment towards community, that whatever we do or anybody does is going to ultimately benefit not only the community nearby, states in large, and overall the country.
Yes, it's important even globally.
Yeah.
So my final question to you is that how do trade fairs like IFAT India help the recycling and waste management industry adopt new technologies and maybe the best practices in the industry?
Look, honestly speaking, it's not that I am sitting on this platform and I'm talking to you on a podcast of IFAT. In fact, IFAT has really been a synonymous with water, wastewater. I think over a period of time, there has been a diversion, or maybe I would say there is a cross sell, and I think this is a good cross sell. Seeing here, being here for last 3 days, interacting with people, I think partnerships, people, innovation, and the kind of response which we have seen has been quite astonishing. And I believe that, going forward, this will even be bigger and better. And I would like to wish you and, IFAT for an excellent and overwhelming 2026 edition.
Thank you so much. And that sums up the whole IFAT India 2025 platform very well, that it is not just about innovation, sustainable solutions, but also about technology exchange and about innovation and a greener future.